I'm going to share something personal that happened to me today. I opened my emails this morning and a piece of work that I had submitted was rejected. Okay, so I had the initial punch in the guts and shock, and within minutes, I started to, process it and just notice that I wasn't having an RSD response. I think this must be the first time in my life that I faced rejection and just handled it as the rejection that's faced me right there and then in that moment. Because for any of us who experience RSD, we know any little rejection at all makes us, it's like CPTSD response, isn't it? It makes us feel all the other times we've been rejected all at once, and it's completely overwhelming. Not being overwhelmed by rejection, I'm like, are other people's lives this easy? You know what I mean? You just go, okay, yeah, I'm disappointed. Yeah, it would have been nice if it worked out. Yeah, it's someone else's opinion. It's not a reflection of my self-worth, my value. And for the first time in my life, this is what self-respect looks like. This is what believing in yourself looks like, and not putting someone else's opinion above what you feel about and think about yourself, and not letting other people decide how much value you have. It's pretty amazing, I'll be honest. And I know I'm speaking from a very privileged position because I've been very lucky to work with different people to unpack and heal from a ton of trauma. There's always more. And lately I've been doing some work on the more bit. And I just wish that all autistic people and all people understood how trauma impacts us in our everyday lives. And it impacts us because we get triggered, and then how we respond to somebody else. So years ago, if something like this had happened, I'd have probably run off and bought a pack of cigarettes, even though I haven't smoked in years. I'd been looking for support from everybody on how to handle it. In my mind then, sure, I'd be writing what will I say? How will I respond to this? How will I tell them? It doesn't matter what I say to them. What matters is what I say to myself. What matters is how I feel about myself. Don't even think I will respond to it. I don't know. Is there a point? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. And that's bloody amazing. This is like a fantastic place to be in. And this is why autistic people, our distress and our trauma needs to be identified as such. Because until we get to the point where we recognize autistic people are sensitive people who are traumatized by the world, and not because it's set up for neurotypicals, the world is set up for nobody at all. But it's definitely not set up for sensitive folk. And it's definitely not set up for people who find it much harder to conform to this capitalist, individualistic, non-human kind of society. So of course we're gonna have bigger responses. We're more emotional and intense anyway, so of course that's all going to play a part of it. We also face marginalization that other people don't. But yeah, we share so much of our trauma, we share so much of ourselves, we share so much of the sad stories and the bad stories and the realities. I really wanted to share that, with you, to, hopefully so people can recognize, God, there's so much trauma in my life. And if I can find safe spaces and support, and some way of reconnecting with myself, my life's going to be completely different.